some players to watch, newcomers to watch in the Big 12 as we get spring practices off and rolling this week in earnest. I'm going to start at number 5 here, work my way down. For this list, it's pretty cut and dry. Transfers and freshmen. Okay? That's pretty easy. So at number 5, I've got offensive tackle Logan Brown, who is transferring to Kansas from Wisconsin. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it should. 6'6", 313 pounds, a plug-and-play replacement for tackle Earl Bostic, who I had the good fortune of sitting down with last year, a dude that had lived through several head coaches at Kansas, found a couple of guys in Travis Fuchs and Lance Leipold that cared about him as a person, and turned out to be one of the better offensive players, let alone offensive linemen in football last year. They're going to miss him. What do they add? A 5-star prospect in 2019 and a redshirt junior transferring in from a place where they just make offensive linemen for the NFL in one Logan Brown. At one point, number 17 player in the country, number 4 player tackle in the country. I'm excited to see how he fits into what Lance Leipold and the Jayhawks are building. Number 4 on the list for me, quarterback J.J. Cole, right? An Iowa native who is staying home to play quarterback at Iowa State. And it's about measurables, and it's also about potential. He is 6'7", 230 pounds, an Under Armour All-American, the number 12 quarterback in the composite for the 2023 class. And for me, this is really about pushing Hunter Dekkers, okay? As good as Iowa State's Iowa State's defense was last year, top 20 scoring defense, they had a scoring offense that ranked 114th in the country. A lot of that's because Dekkers is throwing INTs. Now, Dekkers was throwing INTs 14, third most in all of FBS, because I, like you, watched them play and saw, so the passing part of the playbook just says, throw it up to Xavier Hutchinson, because that dude had over 100 passes caught. But the defense probably saw that that was the playbook for the passing attack too, and said, we're going to just try to take that dude away, because they were not able to run the football effectively. That's what losing a guy like Breece Hall can do. You go from a unanimous All-American tailback in Breece Hall to 3.3 yards per carry. You got to get that sorted too. But if you got a guy like J.J. Cole that can at least put a little bit of pressure on Dekkers to take better care of the football, you're coming out winning. This is really a bet on Matt Campbell, who I need to remind people produced Brock Purdy, and it wasn't a shock to any of us watching Big 12 football. I watched Brock Purdy damn near beat Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma in Norman. I watched Brock Purdy win a Fiesta Bowl against Mario Cristobal and Oregon. What I'm saying is Matt Campbell has been able to find ways to make great players out of players that we might not have given a second thought to. But he's going to have to do that with a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, new passing game coordinator. But it's not anything that he hadn't already done. After all, he took over Iowa State and turned it into a winner. Okay. Number 3 on this list. Now we get nasty. Linebacker Anthony Hill, a true freshman at Texas. I sent producer Tyler some footage of my man Uphill. And I'm calling him Uphill because it's going to be like that if you try to play against him both ways in the snow. It's all day with this dude. 6'2", 225 pounds. Absolutely a sideline to sideline linebacker, and will hit you so that you don't want to get back up. Okay, at Denton Ryan, they had this dude running Wildcat and in short yardage pace, and he was seeking contact. And he can run by you. Imagine Kenneth Murray Jr. without having to teach him a damn thing. Remember, it took Kenneth Murray a little bit of time to learn how to play inside linebacker, and then they forced him to will, and that became the thing. With Hill, I expect him to compete right away for a starting job next to All-American Jalen Ford on that Texas defense. Very, very excited to see Anthony Hill play football, and really excited I'm going to be able to watch him up close, because many people thought he was going to end up at A&M. So when Steve Sarkisian was able to flip him to the University of Texas, I think that Big 12 fans got a gift on the way out. Really outstanding player. Can't wait to see what he looks like in that defense. Number 2 on the list, going to go to Texas Christian, running back Trey Sanders. Now, I have loved Trey Sanders since he was at IMG Academy, but that means you had to sit on your Trey Sanders stock for quite some time. Okay, when he left IMG Academy, that dude wearing number 6 for Tuscaloosa was the number 1 tailback in the country and number 6 player in the 2019 class. Okay, you're joining Alabama, which means it's dudes on dudes on dudes. And I think he is the best example of just how they are layered over that Alabama, okay? So he suffered a season-ending injury in 2019, I believe in August, just before the season started. So he had to sit out that year. 2020, he got injured pretty early in the season too. So he's played just 13 games through all of 2021. Excuse me, played 13 games in 2021 and then 23 total. Okay. We're going into really what is a prove it year for him. Now, on top of all that, you're playing behind Najee Harris. You're playing behind Brian Robinson Jr. And then you fall not just behind Jahmyr Gibbs, but Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, and Jamarion Miller, all guys that had more carries and more yards than he did at tailback in 2022 after Trey Sanders was basically the heir apparent in 2019, looked like the heir apparent in 2021, and then it all went to nothing, right? He has since transferred to Texas Christian where they have a need at tailback, and quietly, Texas Christian has had Zach Evans, Kendre Miller, and now Trey Sanders playing football for them. If it comes together the way I think it's going to come together, we're really going to be into watching Trey Sanders play football because it's not just him. Remember, it's Chandler Morris, it's Tommy Brockemeyer on that line, it's JoJo Earl out in routes, it's Jordan Hudson out in routes, along with Savion Williams. Really, really excited to see what Trey Sanders is able to do at Texas Christian. And the last player to mention for me, my goodness, PJ Adabari might be the best kept secret in the Big 12. Now, it shouldn't be a secret because he's a 5-star player, but you get what I'm saying here. Now, on December 8th, 2021, Adabari was ranked 393rd in the 247 Sports Composite. By August 16, 2022, he was a 5-star recruit. This dude is 6'4", 240 pounds, got a 7-foot wingspan, and did not start playing football until 8th grade. Didn't start playing defensive line until his junior year. Now, I'm calling him a linebacker, but he's an edge guy, right? Rush in. Stand up and go kill people. That's your job, right? Stand up, get around the tackle, go put people on the ground, right? Pat the dirt, son. Pat the dirt. Okay. On top of that, we're talking about a guy that I believe can develop into the destroyer of worlds that Brent Venables has seemingly produced at every level, okay? Going back to Clemson, we can talk about Isaiah Simmons, right? We also can talk about Cleveland Farrell, Austin Bryant. Man, look, we can talk about Christian Wilkins forever and ever and ever, amen. And with Todd Bates there, I'm really excited to see what these guys can do. Now, Miguel Chavis is coaching the defensive ends, and I get that, but between all these coaches that I know from football, having a guy with this sort of ability on a defense that, frankly, needs all the help it can get means that they've got guys on the edge and in the interior that I think can help them. And that is going to be the point. Danny Stutzman is going to be able to do what he can do at linebacker. I think they're going to be just fine at safety. I think they're going to be pretty great, if not extremely experienced at corner, Jaden Davis and Woody Washington. I think the defense might be able to do something this year, guys. And if they can do that, like Oklahoma can make a Big 12 championship on its way out the door to the SEC. And please, Oklahoma, it's me, Dexter, looking at the mural going stun on these fools, please. Last year was tough. Last year, Tulsa, Oklahoma is not Oklahoma territory. It's Oklahoma State territory. So I got to hear from everybody. I went to go talk to a group at a high school in Sand Springs. And I got to tell you, I asked how many OU fans in there? 2. How many Oklahoma State fans? Almost all of them. Okay? Like, that's where I'm at. And everybody gives me a pass when I'm in those sorts of positions, but they get their licks in too. So, RJ, how you feel about that losing record? Yeah, you ain't seen a losing record in the 21st century. Yeah, I know. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.